Hi, Mike Kennedy here, and we're looking at curly dock. Now this plant is still kind of on the small side. It's funny, we've been really dry here in southern Maine, and we're way behind on the mushrooms, and even this curly dock, I've seen it by the ditches, by the road where there's water, and it's way bigger than this, okay? But let's look at curly dock. It's called curly dock, I think, because the leaves are kind of curly. It has alternating leaves. It has a flower head, which you can see starting to develop already on these small ones. Like I say, I think these are kind of stunted over what they would normally be. The seed heads turn red when they are mature. Now, you would eat the leaves of these. Now, what you do find is that curly dock is quite bitter. It's still very edible, but it's bitter. We as a culture here in America don't eat bitter foods, but a lot of different cultures do, and highly prize more bitter foods. There's more of it here. Normally you would cook it because the bitterness, I believe, is caused by oxalic acid in it, and cooking it breaks down some of that oxalic acid, and some of it's leached out of the plant, but it's still pretty bitter when you eat it. But very good for you. I read a thing where a guy was kind of broke, and he was in some area, and he said he for a summer pretty much survived on this stuff. This was about basically all he ate. I'm not suggesting you do that because of the concentration of oxalic acid, but some vegetables that we eat have, commercially have more oxalic acid in them than this, but they don't taste this bitter. So anyway, curly dock, it's very easy to find once you know what it looks like, and it tends to, here we are in what we call the disturbed soil area. It tends to grow in areas like that. Here we got down next to it a wild carrot that's just coming up. And like I say, it's been really dry here. They took this area and it was all, if I go up here a little, you'll see this area. This was all trees and they cut it back. Cut some of the trees out and the lilac bushes and stuff. And so this is giving a new opportunity for other plants to move in. So we're going to see what moves in. There was some burdock here, which I don't see right now, but I'm sure we will see because it's kind of hard to get burdock roots up. That may be burdock right there, I'm not sure. But we'll see what comes up. Oh, here's burdock over here. Let's go look. Here's another edible. It kind of looks like a rhubarb leaf, if you know what rhubarb leaves look like a little. Now this is burdock, another one of the docks, but you can tell the leaf's quite a bit different shape. And normally the first year plant doesn't have a flower stalk. This is a biennial. It grows for 2 years. The first year is putting all the energy into the root. The second year it takes that energy out of the root to produce the flower stalk. Well, and more behind me, but you can, most people eat the roots, which is, they're kind of deep and they're hard to get, but I found out recently that leaves and flower, the leaf stems you can eat as well too. Now these are small. There's some bigger ones over here. Let's take a look. You can see these are a little bigger, but the leaves will get much bigger than this. Here again, I think we're a little bit stunted with the dryness. And here we have one. I think this definitely would be a second year plant because we're already getting the center stalk coming out for the flower head. So this would probably have a decent sized root under it at this time because it's only started to produce the flower. There's all kinds of little burdock plants around here. Now it's called burdock because the seeds create a burr that has all these little sticky Velcro type things on them, and the whole seed pod will attach to something and be transported. It's considered a weed, but it's very edible. In some cultures, the burdock root is very sought after for food and, medicinally as well. So there's the two docks we have here. We got the burdock that has the burrs, then we have the curly dock that has the curly leaves.